This is podcast number 44 with 3 aliases. And we're live. And we're back! Yay! I haven't done one of these since January. And when we were in January, it was Joel, Sam, and I, and we... just for fun, we all wore polo shirts. Well, Joel had the digital polo shirt on, and Sam pulled out an actual red polo shirt in his collection.
Update. I actually got a red polo.
You got?
I got one.
From where?
I have one. I combined got and have, so I got Gav. That's
Oh,
why I
okay.
said that.
Off.
You and your English. Flippin' English. Screw English. But where'd you get? You got one? Or
I got one on Amazon.
Or I'm in the know
It's in my
about
closet.
this already. Okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about. But yeah, this is in the 6 hours that I have after my job. Yay, I have a job. I am doing one of these again. This is the third one of 2023, and we decided that there's going to be a little bit of structure to this podcast. I got 4 topics that I want to talk about today, but that's just an outline. Anything is on the table. So, let me start with this. Yesterday, and everybody who knows me and is close to me knows this. Yesterday, I celebrated my 7th year as a trophy hunter. Now, my identity as a gamer. Trophy hunting is at the forefront of my identity as a gamer. People ask me what I like to do in my free time. I tell them I'm a trophy hunter. Simple as that. Unapologetic. Yeah. With all due respect, I think amongst the 3 of you, Joel's the biggest gamer here. And
Yeah.
can probably sympathize with my achievement and my pride.
Dude, it's a
I guess
pretty big deal.
Yeah, honestly, bro, good job. Like, I cannot do that.
Do you guys know how many I have?
Like 100.
97.
97 is correct.
I did
I was
not
gonna
know.
guess like 180. I don't know why.
180, dude?
I
No.
didn't know you had.
What's your
180?
most favorite trophy?
My favorite trophy. Wow.
Are you gonna answer like platinum trophy or just like trophy achievement in general?
I could do both because that's what we're here for. Let's see. Favorite trophy, I would say this one kind of started the whole Big Ten thing. One of my favorite trophies of all time. It's a trophy called Personal Decorator in Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Or 3, sorry. And less than 1% of the registered users on PlayStation, on PSN profiles has this achievement. And I am in that less than 1%.
Hey.
That's my... It's less than 1% because it's hard. For me, at least. And it's hard, and it's rare, and it set off a chain reaction of me wanting to play challenging games. So that would be one of my favorite, maybe the favorite trophy of all time. Favorite platinum trophy of all time might go to... Oh my gosh, there's so many. I have 97 of them. Which one do I pick? Joel, which one do you think I should pick? If you were to pick for me what you think my favorite platinum trophy in my collection is, what do you think it is?
I mean, my first thought was Genshin.
Genshin Impact.
I forgot, but you like the grind,
Yeah.
the dailies.
And
Other than that, maybe. Trying to think of like maybe one of the Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, I've thought about that too. I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Definitely one of the Big Ten. I don't know which one though.
You know what? You kind of hit it on the money with those first two. Genshin Impact, I do take some pride in, and I'm doing the same for Honkai Star Rail too. Shout out Hoyoverse. But indeed, Genshin Impact, I do take a lot of pride in because that game, technically from starting point, took me about 14 months to achieve. And then I spent 6 straight months just, if I ever hung out with you guys or if you ever saw me, I'd usually bring my iPad and my iPhone. I'd connect my iPad to the hotspot and I'd play Genshin Impact wherever I went, whenever I had downtime. Bless you. So I take pride in that. Kingdom Hearts games too. Also, really like the Kingdom Hearts series. I think in total I have at least about just under 500 hours put into the Kingdom Hearts series. And I would say that maybe Kingdom Hearts 2 is my favorite Kingdom Hearts Platinum Trophy. Still got to play that Forsaken rhythm game, Melody of Memory, but that's a story for another day. But yeah, you kind of hit it on the money with that. Yeah, trophy hunting. I love trophy hunting. If I wasn't working right now, I'd be trophy hunting. If I wasn't a full-time student, I'd be trophy hunting. All I want to do during the day is trophy hunting. Yeah, yes.
Have you ever considered dropping out and just becoming a full-time streamer?
Yes, a few times. It's not a thought I think about often because I feel like it takes a long time to build loyalty in the streaming community. And if I were to drop out right now and pursue that, there's not enough room for me to grow and make that career sustainable. So I'm gonna, I'll play video games on the side and I'll stream on the side, but certain people have convinced me that, I'm not gonna name names, but certain people have convinced me that streaming is way more difficult than it looks like. And because of various factors that will take time to develop. So, short answer, yes. In reality, that's probably not good for me. Good question, though.
At least you're being realistic.
Yeah, I like to think that that's the realistic perspective. But yeah, it takes. Well, I have been streaming video games for a long time, but most of my streams, I want to say 95% of my streams in the past 2 years were unlisted. So, I only stream just to capture gameplay. It's not really to build an audience, because I'm beyond that now. I just like to play video games. That's first and foremost. I'm a gamer. I'm a trophy hunter. Yeah. Any more questions about my illustrious trophy hunting career? Challenges or whatnot? Because, yeah. It's a big milestone for me, at least. Speaking of milestone, actually, I got, also 7 years ago, I got the Platinum Trophy for Lego Marvel's Avengers and Batman Arkham Knight, both in one day. And that's the first of only 2 times that I ever gotten 2 Platinum Trophies in one day. Yeah. But, yeah. I'm proud to be a gamer.
Me too. Except I barely play now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what life does. That's what life does.
That's what life does.
Speaking of life, Joel suggested that I talk about Why am I shaking, man? Why is the whole joint shaking? This is a fragile setup. But Joel suggested I talk about the album. These days I don't really like to call it an album. I just call it a project. But Joel suggested that I talk about that. And I suppose I will talk about that. But before I explain whatever about the project, do you have any specific questions about the project right now?
No.
There are 10 tracks, all loaded with lyrics.
Who was your favorite feature?
Who was my favorite feature? So there were 6. So we're gonna go through the rundown. You got Nasi Kuning, Sam Nappy, Joel, Jay Chen. Wait, did I say 6? I meant 5. Jay Chen and Hana. Those were the 5. I can't believe all 3 of you guys are features on the thing. I forgot. But favorite feature. Probably. That's a great question. I'm torn between 2, but one just barely takes the edge. I think Hana's feature is my favorite feature on the project. Because I imagine...
Wait.
Huh?
Wait. Who's the other one?
Nasi Kuning was the runner-up by a close margin.
Who's the third one?
Who's the third? So the third are the remaining 3 on the track Family. Third, I want to say... I think if I'm looking back on the verses again, I would like to say that I think Joel's my third favorite.
Nah.
Joel, because who's fourth?
Shout out Joel.
Fourth, I'd like to say I think Jay Chen takes the 4th spot, and then Sam Nappy.
Who's last?
Sam Nappy takes the 5th spot. But they all provided personality to the project. It's just, you know, maybe due to personal preference and delivery, some people outshined others. I think Joel and Jay Chen brought a lot of character and charisma to their performances. Joel had some bars too.
Yep.
Shooting hard, popping cherries. I'm a dart monkey. That's a nice little setup there. Nice little double entendre. Jay Chen, you know, he's a character. He's someone said he reminded them of Smiley in Over the Top by Smiley featuring Drake. That there's probably a word for that I can't remember. I can't remember the word, but I guess I'll say zesty for all intents and purposes. Jay Chen sounded zesty in his verse. You know, that's up to interpretation. That's just the word I want to use to describe it. But Hana's my favorite feature on the project because I imagine, you know, I was torn between recording the interlude myself or having her record it. Because initially I reached out to her asking, hey, there's some empty space in the middle of this song. What should I do here? And she was like, ooh, I have an idea. Then she sent me lyrics. And then those lyrics, I changed those lyrics. And then I was like, hey, you should sing this. And then she sang it at the studio. And now it's a staple of the song and possibly the project. And by the way, Just Business is probably the best track I've ever made. from a storytelling and an aesthetic perspective. I think it's the best track I've ever made.
When you reached out to me, because I know that, what is it? Because Enrico just, he said, like, oh, like, what should I feel in this space? Like, did you expect, like, what did you, like, expect from me? Like, do you, like, was it just, like, open for, like, anything?
It was basically open for anything, but,
Okay.
You know, I wasn't surprised that I got, you know, song lyrics out of that conversation. I was intending that interlude to be a skit or something, so it was a pleasant surprise to see song lyrics in my DMs. So thank you, first of all, and it was a hit. It turned out great in the end.
I feel like that was, what is it? It was just nice because I feel like the only thing that I've really collabed with you with, that doesn't make sense, but like was really only the Asian cipher.
Yeah.
And so you just asked me to what should happen. I feel like initially, like, obviously, like, I feel like I'm more into like melodic things, so like that just popped into my head and I was like, oh. I was like, oh. But yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but I don't know what I was thinking trying to put you on the Asian cipher, because it's like asking a fish to climb a tree. Yeah, it's like asking a fish to climb a tree. Any more questions about the album before I give a brief rundown of every track? If you want me to give a brief rundown of every track, because this is some heavy stuff. Yeah.
You said Just Position was one of your favorites, right?
Correct.
What do you think was your worst, or what's it called? A song that you weren't really satisfied with?
Oh,
I'm satisfied with all of them.
There are so many of them. Honestly, it's part of the creative process. I have so many duds in my discography. I would say, I gotta dig deep into my memory here, but there was a project I did back in 2020 called Poetry Slam, and that had bombs on it. My gosh, there were bombs on that project. I would say, well, I'm just gonna list off a bunch of songs that I dislike. The intro track off that project was trash. That little Christmas joint I did to Eminem's "The Way I Am," that was I have no idea what I was thinking at the time. I was on demon time. That ISIS remix I did with Nasi Kuning, that was it was alright. It was the first track I uploaded to SoundCloud. Then what else? The interlude I did to that project was hot garbage. Some people hail Zoom In a classic. The structure of that song is so
Auto-tuning.
Yeah, but the structure of that song is all over the place, so I can't really put that in my, my top 5 in my catalog.
Straight up.
The little cipher I did on the thing, it was okay. Alright, there was a track called Initiation Cipher, which is it's a little bit like the prelude to Verse Collection Volume 1 in a way, where I just spit for 4 minutes. So that one was okay. Then that's all I can think of off the top of my head. I just want to make every effort to forget about that project as much as possible. But those are duds from that era. Asian Season the following year, it was better than that year. It was better than the 2020 project I did, but I could list the obvious highlights. The Asian Cipher was a monumental moment for the Tri-City label, I like to call it. The Asian Cipher was a highlight. The interlude, well, there are two actually. The evening was high energy. I like that. I did a track with the local producer J Rut, which I'm kind of fond of. But everything after that is just blurry, and some of the tracks were incomplete too. So they didn't. That project didn't live up to its fullest potential, unfortunately. So that's a dud from that era. This year, this project, I am happy with most of them, except for the 5th track in the middle, titled NG+. A lot of people, first of all, it confused some people, and second of all, it was just so low intensity and low concept and low effort, too. It was easily my least favorite one off this project. But other than that, I think the rest of the project are hits. Personally, it's my most focused and most complete by far. So, yeah, least favorite
That's pretty
tracks. Any more questions about the project? Any concerns, challenges, etc., etc.? Any bars that you liked? Any bars that you disliked? Any bars you need further explanation for if you remember them?
Yeah, no, New Game Plus. Hold on.
Yeah.
What was the one? The bar, it was like in the mattress.
Oh yeah, my bed is big enough. So
Can you explain that?
I conceptualized that song in May of 2022. And that was supposed to be from the perspective of someone else. It's not, none of those experiences are mine, by the way, in that song.
Okay.
But that NG Plus was supposed to be for some separate mini project that I wanted to do at the time. But I was like, screw it. This is going on this year's project. So, yeah, the concept didn't really line up by the time the project came together. So, everything in that track is just purely conceptual. It's not personal or anything. It may emulate some other people's experiences that I've seen, but nothing about me is in there. Yeah, but my bed is big enough to store memories under the mattress. Something relationship status. I don't know. That's also a track I want to forget about. It was such a low point of that project. But yeah. Any more questions? Any bar clarification or questions? Favorite verse, even. Favorite verse, favorite bar?
I feel like just because I know from what is it, the one with the Joel, Jason, and Sam.
Yeah.
It's because I know them. I feel like it's extra funnier, but I feel like that one was. I thought that one was good. I feel like the one that I reacted to the most that I liked was probably which one was it? It was when what's it called? It's the one with you and Tiff. What is it?
Oh yeah, Roman numeral 3. No, I'm just kidding. It's called Ill.
Oh yeah.
I'm about to say, I'm like, oh, no ways.
Some people thought it was that.
It was at the end, and he's like, when it's kind of like, it's
we
like,
alternate.
It's like when they were like, he was like, not this.
Yeah.
Hot. That was actually so good.
Yeah.
That was good.
All him too.
And the beat drop, that was hard, bro.
At the beginning?
Yeah.
Thank you. That was purely a stylistic choice. That wasn't in the original instrumental. I put that in. The whole spoken word stuff at the beginning. But thank you for expressing enthusiasm in that. Any more questions or comments about the album? Okay, you know what? Now I'm gonna yeah, this is pretty self-centered of me to ask. If you were to rate the whole project on a scale of 1 to 10, what score would you give it?
I'll let Joel go first. I don't know where Sam went.
Alright, being honest. Wait, is this like compared to your other tracks or is it just in general?
Just in general, the whole project, start to finish. Highlights and lowlights too. If I guess we already went through the highlights, but the lowlights.
I'd say a light 7.
A light 7, respectable.
There were definitely like really high moments, but a lot of mid moments. I don't know how to explain it.
Okay, that's fair.
It's like I remember we actually had like a listening party, like in the middle of the night. I remember we just listened to your whole album. And I think it was really hype at first, but I can tell that you kind of experimented a little bit with your sound, and then like definitely kind of dulled. I don't know. It like dulled the hype. Because I remember after like Bar Wizard, that was fire. Ill was fire. But then like, I guess around New Game Plus, and then like, what is the other one again with the train
beat
station?
switch? Yeah, with the beat switch.
That
and
one, I was
whatever.
like, I was kind of lost. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah, sure.
But you know, the bars were great though. Like, I think you definitely went. What's it called? You definitely experimented a lot. So, you know, why I say light 7, because it's not like I can't give it a 10. You know, like it's not everything can be perfect. But I as well can't give it a 9 or 8. 'Cause I feel like those low moments and those high moments kind of equal out, so it's more towards the middle of the rating. But I still really like it. So it's 7.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you. I will keep note of that for next time. What about other ratings?
I feel like maybe I'm just not the one, to probably ask, because I feel like I'm not really qualified to rate whatever. But I feel like personally, maybe it's just because I don't know as much as your other projects like other people do, so I can't really compare either. But I would say maybe the same thing.
Okay.
I feel like a 7. I feel like there was some, but I actually, like, when I listened to like the whole thing, like, thought it was good. Like, I feel like there were no parts where I was like, But I feel like maybe that's just because I know you and I'm already biased, but because I tend to do that. But I feel like, yeah, a 7.5.
7.5. And a final consensus. What's your rating?
Nothing in my book is 10 out of 10.
Sure.
Doesn't matter what it is. And listening to your album, I mean, I've listened to your music, since your first one back in like 2020, right? And I personally like that one. Kyle and I always like jam out to it every now. And that still holds dear to my heart. And when I listen to this song, oh no, not the song, the album, it was good. I liked it, and to me, I would give it like a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Good. I think at one point, which song was that? Find it real quick. Sorry.
That's okay.
Where was it? I really did like Just Business though.
Okay. Thank you.
That's like a really good song. I enjoyed it. I remember I did like a listening party at Sarah's house with her mom and dad and sister. We were just listening to your songs. Pretty
Okay.
nice.
How did they receive
I'm just
it?
kidding. No, I'm just kidding. It was just me, her, and Jenna.
No.
I think it's hard for them to know what's going on because they don't know you that well. They don't know you that well,
Sure.
and they don't know all like the references and backstory behind it.
Okay.
But Family, it's a decent song. If I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
You know, I personally I did enjoy New Game Plus.
Why?
I don't know. When I first listened to it, I was like, okay, this song is kind of thing, but when you were talking about how this is like someone's perspective, different perspective,
Mhm.
I was like, okay, this makes a lot more sense now because it's not coming from you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, I'm like, okay, I guess this kind of adds up because this song is not you,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah. Overall, I'm gonna say 6.5, which is my rating.
Sure.
So
I'll take any score, even
Yeah.
even a 1.
yeah,
I cap you not. I'll take a 1 even, because it's art.
a 1.
No. I'm just hypothetically speaking, and it's not that I give this project a 1. I'm just saying, if someone were to give it a 1, I'll hear them out as long as they give me, solid reasons why. But Earth to Salmon 135.
Who's Jay Chen?
Jay Chan is Jason.
Jason Chung.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, first timer in the label. Man, I'm just gonna say Tri-City label like it's a thing. First timer in the Tri-City label. Gave a
I
lot
thought
of
you'd have a song with. Oh, sorry.
No,
I thought
yeah.
you'd have a song with Nicki Minaj.
Hmm?
I thought you'd have a song with Nicki Minaj.
We did a lot of our work back in the Asian season era.
But not this album.
I just figured I'd reach out to some different people this time.
I guess that's fair.
Um,
I mean, you have like the majority of them. The people from the other album
true.
to this one.
Yeah.
It's not much difference except for, lyrics and beats.
I'll put some different people onto some new stuff in the future.
Can you get Dai Roma?
I could. I've been exploring his sound for a little bit now.
Can you get? Okay.
I've been exploring a few artists in the area, see what how I can adapt. Excuse me, how I can adapt my style to theirs.
Get a Toba Beats.
We could get something like that on there. Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Do I need to explain any parts of the album further, or is everything just, yeah, okay, I hear it and I know what it is. We're good.
I think I know what it is now. It's fine.
Okay. Because like you said, there are a lot of references in this project that
Yeah,
outsiders
because like
might not
I
understand.
feel like people need to know who you are in order to understand like your lyrics,
Okay,
Mm.
fair game.
Because I've listened to this album like I think two, 3 times now.
Okay.
So and then listening to it over and over, I'm like, okay, I understand this part of the song, and then I know who you are, right?
Okay.
So this makes sense to me. This reference makes sense to me.
Now, did your experience of listening to the album get progressively better or worse with each listen?
Well, I don't know. I just listened to it. I
Okay.
didn't give like an opinion. I was just like, okay, I'm just vibing.
It's fair game. It's fair game. So I'm assuming all of you guys on your first listen just listen to it straight from start to finish, no No pauses or rewinds or anything?
I did not.
You did not. How did you listen to
What'd you
the-
say?
I only listened to it whenever you played it. Not gonna lie.
Okay. No, that's
I
fair.
listened to the whole album once, like start to finish, but I would listen to Bar Wizard and Ill and Family like on my own.
Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
I would listen to Just Business every now and then. I just pull it up in the car when I'm driving home. Just like bump to it.
Okay.
Here you go.
You know, I have at work we have like a Google Home Mini. I could connect it to I can connect my phone to it and start playing your songs.
Okay.
I
Do
don't,
as
think
you
they'll, I don't think
wish.
they'll mind. Yeah.
Yeah,
Here you go. I have a question.
it's weird. Yes, Joel, please.
Will you ever put your songs on Spotify?
It's like we gotta pay though. No.
Yeah, it's
$20 a year.
You got a full-time job though. Yeah.
it
Pretty sure it's $20 a year.
sure,
Wait, $20 a year?
$20 a year,
Well,
Yeah,
not
a
bad.
year.
but
Oh, that's not bad then.
It's worth it, right?
there's more to that though. So every
but then
not every. All the beats I
songs,
use
right?
are free.
I was about to say the beats.
If I want to upload them to streaming services to make profit, I have to buy a lease for the beats of every song, and that
Yeah.
could rack up hundreds of dollars people don't
Yeah.
recognize.
You gotta make your own beats, man.
Man,
True.
Or just ask J-Rod.
I know guys. Yeah, I know guys. I know people that can do that. I'm a rapper, man.
Hit up Tobo Beats.
Yeah. I'm just so deep into just writing lyrics that I'm so far into the rapping aspect of it. I don't really want to tap into the producing aspect of hip hop. Not to say that I've not played around with it, but the stuff that I make, at least in GarageBand, I'm not happy with. I know people with FL Studio, and they stream FL Studio, and then we do a little FL Studio session, and instantly the sounds that they do use sound much more producer quality than what I can make on GarageBand. So I'm sticking to rapping for the time being. But great question. Yeah, that's rapping, that's music. I do rap. Definitely, it's not super popular for I tap into a lot of the lyrical stuff of hip hop, but more people would appreciate the aesthetic of, say, an R&B album, a more melodic type of album and whatnot. So, yeah, this project's not for everyone, and I understand. I love what I do. Simple as that. I hope other people find.
I love what you do too, man.
Say what?
I love what you do too.
Thank you. Now let's dive into the more, let's say, applicable topics.
Yep. Yeah.
I have two topics that Joel suggested. The first one is one word. He said grad. He said grad. Joel said grad. And I feel like this question pertains more to high schoolers. I'm a community college graduate, but it's community college. Not much of a transition from community college to university than high school to university. But grad, Joel, what about grad? What are your actually? Could you remember the feelings that you had at your high school graduation?
Feelings I had during my high school grad. I mean, like, it just felt. Oh wait, what's the word? Surreal or unreal? Both.
Surreal, I would say, yeah. But make a case for either adjective.
It felt like, wow, this is it. Or not, this is it, but like, wow, like, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know how to explain it any further. It's just like, it felt very surreal.
Was there ever a sense of, oh my gosh, I just want to get out of here as soon as possible?
Yeah, kind of.
Is that because you want to move on to bigger things, or was just high school just kind of a bland experience for you?
It was, I don't know, because like you know how like COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
It just felt like I shouldn't be graduating. I don't know how, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like kind of like quarantine kind of robbed me of like kind of 2 years of high school.
Sure. Yeah.
Was freshman and sophomore. So quarantine started second semester of freshman year,
Yeah.
and then basically it bled into sophomore year, and then it didn't really get normal until junior year.
Mm-hmm.
And so like by the time like senior year rolled around, like I feel like I was still like a junior. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's how I felt. But it was still like definitely a good high school experience, I'd say.
Okay.
I feel like for me personally, I feel like I should have done more. I should have been more involved.
Involvement.
I feel like I should have been more involved.
Were there any programs that you were eyeing during your time in high school, or
Not really. I don't know. It's just like it was just. I think just Summersworth in general was just kind of, eh. Oh, I probably should have done soccer.
Okay.
That's one thing I should have done. I
So
should have done soccer.
when you say involvement with your high school, what do you
No.
envision?
Like me joining clubs, me, you know, kind of, just being more involved.
Okay. All right.
You think you would ever join theater?
You know, I told myself this, or not told, I would tell people this. I feel like in another world, I would definitely be a theater kid. 100%.
For sure. I believe that.
That's interesting.
Theater.
If it was like the Joel verse, like I would be a theater kid.
Coerce.
There's definitely like one that's very close. I'll be a theater kid.
Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Well, I'm glad you got something positive out of your high school graduation. For the other four of us, well, for starters, yeah, the class of 2021.
You got a grad though, like an actual grad.
Yeah, class of 2021.
Not like whatever.
Got in-person graduation and whatnot. We still had to wear masks in the gym leading up to the graduation, but it was still an in-person graduation with friends and family and whatnot.
Just a gym, not a school.
You know, at least you guys got that graduation. I didn't.
Yeah, the class of
Ours was-
2020.
Dang.
That was the peak of the. Well, I don't know peak really, but we were getting there. COVID was still rampant. This was pre-vaccine COVID, by the way, and they got a live stream, a walk-up and a live stream, and a tent too. Was it raining that day?
It depends on what day you went on.
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, for me, it wasn't raining. It was cloudy. And I think like the few days after that, we had like a parade or.
Oh, in the few days after that, so it wasn't all.
Yeah. So after we all graduated, quote unquote, we all did like a student parade or
after
something.
you all moved up.
Yep. That was our
Okay.
kind of lame.
Well, you know, it is what it is. Screw COVID. Oh, speaking of COVID, what do you guys think of COVID now? Does COVID have any impact on your lives now?
According to the CDC, it's not that big of a deal now. So
What does the CDC say?
it's not a major threat now. I
Okay.
think. Like it's not. I mean, it was big, of course, yes, but now it's gone down a lot. I mean, sure, people still wear a mask. That's fair. I would still wear a mask. And yeah, it's not that big. It's not like a life-threatening. Because people have the vaccine, they have boosters, all that stuff. So
Do they still consider it a pandemic, or are we past that? Or
I
what
think we're
what
past that now.
conditions
We're-
do
we're
we need
past that
to?
now.
Okay. What conditions do need to be put in place to kind of clear the pandemic status of COVID? What? At what
I don't
point do they stop considering it a pandemic? Is there a metric?
I think once the cases are down,
Okay.
so
I guess if
Yeah.
that's the only metric, then
that's what I don't know. Like any other certain metric you're thinking of, but
okay.
I
But
completely forgot that it was I completely forgot that COVID was a thing for a second.
yeah,
exactly.
it's an
Until
afterthought.
somebody brought it up. I feel like the other day, I actually like had an epiphany,
Sure.
something like that. I like somebody brought it up the other day, and they're like, "Oh yeah, when COVID was happening," I was like, "Oh my gosh," and like,
Yeah, right.
because I feel like it's very like apparent now because so many concerts are happening and like so many
Oh
like
hell yeah.
yeah, so like a lot of people are or a lot of artists have been going on concerts, and I feel like a lot of like
Taylor Swift.
other.
Who's
A lot
literally adding? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I don't know. I was just gonna say a lot of like large gathering things happening, and I feel like I don't know. It's kind of nice. It's nice.
Yeah, we're kind of back to the
Yeah.
the norm,
New
now,
normal.
the new normal. But
Why do they
You
call
know.
it the new normal? Was the new normal just a COVID thing, and we're really just back to normal now? Or
I don't know. There's still some stuff going on in the world that
Sometimes you
What would
see
really
like
hit
one
us?
in a. You see 1 in 100 people wearing masks though, so I feel like maybe
unless you're in New York.
well, that's a different story.
true.
Yeah, that whole smog has subsided. I bet. I think New York is over that Canada Fire stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh yeah, I think because the pandemic is over, maybe it inspired the University of New Hampshire to implement a mandatory housing rule for the fall 2023 semester, or starting in the fall 2023 semester, saying that I think if you don't tell them, every first year and transfer student under the age of 21 is required to spend 4 semesters living in UNH housing, starting in the
Wait,
fall
really?
semester. Yeah,
Wait, what?
Expired?
requirement to live on the UNH campus.
What if you just don't?
I don't remember what happens if you just straight up say no. Maybe you get fined something. I don't remember, but our family, my brother and I, had to get a notarized letter of residency. My father had to go to the bank, ask the notary public to sign the letter of residency, and then turn that into whoever is responsible for that at UNH, so that we don't have to pay for housing, so we don't have to live on campus and whatever. I'm not sure what the consequence of saying no is, but beats me. We did our thing. They say generally.
If you're a transfer or out of state, is that what you said?
First year. Actually, I think out of state is also one of the conditions. I don't remember. They say that if you live within a 30-mile radius of the UNH, then you're eligible for that exemption, but I don't remember the other details.
Thanks.
So check your emails, guys. You might have to request an exemption by the university. Yeah, I was surprised when I saw that too. I haven't seen that in years before. So yeah, check your emails. Don't make sure they don't incur any hidden fees upon you once they bill you. So yeah,
Check your webcat.
I was shocked to learn that. I was like, isn't that so much money, isn't it? Maybe it's all about money. I don't know. Shout out UNH. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Where are you going, Joel?
I'm going to Great Bay.
Okay.
Great Bay, and then I might transfer to. I'm thinking SNHU
It's new, huh?
because they have a good game development. Like,
yeah. Don't they have an
Yeah,
esports
there.
program there too?
They
they do.
do. They
Esports
do have
degree
one.
and whatever.
And they have like a sick like a center. esports center.
Yeah.
So they're about that.
That's pretty. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
And how long is that from here? 50,
It's
40
been a few-
minutes?
It's like an hour.
It's in Manch,
A little
so
bit over an hour.
Oh, shoot. Well,
yeah.
okay.
Dude, they have some nice like dorms there. They look like hotels.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking about commuting there because it's.
Oh.
I mean, like
yeah,
it's an
yeah.
hour, but like it's
That's
doable
fair,
for
yeah.
money.
Yeah, fair.
Okay.
But I'm just saying that like it's super nice. Like what the hell? Way nicer than UNH. That's
So, is it more expensive than UNH?
I don't know.
I honestly haven't planned that far. I'm just thinking I might transfer there. Well, like I know that I'm definitely gonna go the game development route. Well, I'm gonna like
Good.
so my kind of degree at Great Bay is computer technologies.
Yeah.
But because there's no comp sci like actual degree there, so I gotta like talk to my advisor to put me on that path.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to do like comp sci and then transfer to game development.
Yeah, your advisor will definitely provide you with resources. That's what my advisor did for me, since Great Bay Community College doesn't have a chemical engineering degree. I started off in engineering science, and then I met with my advisor. I told him, "Oh yeah, I want to be a chemical engineer." He's like, "You know what? Instead of engineering science, you could be a bioengineering major." So, shout out John, by the way. He put me onto the bioengineering major, and most of my classes transferred to UNH. Not saying all of them, because not all of them did. I have the whole schedule right here. There are still gaps in my thing, but they will provide you with overlaps. They have papers and lists and whatever of stuff that transfers to UNH and whatnot. So you're in good hands. Yeah, we're still on grad. What can I ask of my class of 2021 graduates? Yeah. What were your feelings upon graduating from high school? Maybe I've said this before, but it's my first podcast in 5 months. Maybe your perspective has changed.
I was like, I had like really bad senioritis, and like because COVID hit, like my grades literally tanked.
Yeah.
And like I literally was on the brink. Shh, don't tell me. But I literally was on the brink of not graduating, because it was like so bad. Or it was just like this one class, but like I needed to do one thing to graduate, but I still didn't do that thing. But it was just like kind of a roller coaster, and I just was like kind of done with everything because I feel like remote learning was just not for me. Even though like talking to other people, it was for some others, but I feel like just having on taking classes on a screen and stuff like that, it was just, I don't know, not the best. But I feel like from what I remember, even though really is not that long ago, but I feel like it's been a very long time. Not a very long time, but I feel like we kind of like towards the end, we kind of got back into it. But I remember it being like very like up and down. But thank goodness, my class was lucky enough to have a graduation. Even though it wasn't at UNH how it usually is, it was at for the high school. But I feel like it was alright. But I was, kind of sad. Because, Somersworth is a relatively smaller school, so you kind of like know everybody, and I guess maybe I'm just very emotional, but I was really sad to see like everybody, graduate and go their separate ways, and especially I feel like I had some good connections with the teachers, and so it was sad. And also I feel like this kind of is not really about grad, but it's just about like COVID and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But my class like did a really good job at like fundraising and stuff. So we were gonna have like a pretty good prom, and like we had a bunch of things planned and a bunch of money saved. But because COVID hit, like we never ended up having that prom. And like we took a tour and everything. Like we literally like took a tour of the hotel that we were gonna have it at. I'm pretty sure like a week later, that's when the message sent out about COVID. But yeah, like it's just like those things that we didn't get to have. But you know, some people like say that they don't miss high school, but um, I feel like because some memories were taken away from us, um, I feel like I wouldn't go back to it, but I feel like I do definitely reminisce it because I also feel like it also um, school, like you had some friends that you only would talk to during school.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I don't know, I kind of miss those.
Well,
What would you say to someone that says they don't miss their high school years?
I mean, I feel
That's
like, you know, I feel like everybody's, like, you know, everybody's experience is different and stuff like that. And there are some times where I'm like, gross. But, and I don't miss it. But I feel like, teach their own. So.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. And you know, it is unfortunate that your class missed out on. Well, every class missed out on opportunities during that year. Yeah, everybody got robbed. There's no sugarcoating it.
I mean, I kind of lucked out. I mean, like freshman, sophomore year, yeah, but like I did still get prom and stuff like that, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And fellow Dover graduate, what were the emotions from graduating from high school, if any? Because, yeah, I can relive that experience. I think I can relive your experience too. Our senior year was a little bit of an adventure at home, but Sam, what was your experience upon graduating from high school?
I honestly, high school, like I say this all the time when people ask me about high school, but it was definitely like it's such a filler arc. I don't know. It's just like once I graduated, I kind of realized how much like I don't miss anything in high school that I whatever. Um, but yeah, if anything, I feel like college has definitely been more memorable to me already than high school, I will say. So, but you know, obviously there are people that enjoy their high school years.
Maybe a little
Like,
too much. But
like Hannah said, teach their own. You know, it is what it is. Not saying, you're not saying. Not me though. Not me though. I hate high school. I hated that.
yeah.
I would never go back. I would never reminisce about high school. I'd reminisce maybe about like what I did outside of high school. But, like,
Yeah,
in
sure.
high school, no. Yeah. If that's what you mean. If that's what you mean.
Yeah. So we know people that it's almost stereotypical, but you know we know those people that they're having a lot of they like to goof around a lot in high school. They goof around. They fall asleep in class. They're kind of lacking on their assignments with little to no worry about not graduating and whatnot. They're very live in the moment type of students. Is it? They're very live in the moment, and they dismiss the future. Let's say. Um. Well, no, that's tricky. I don't know. Do they? You know what I'm talking about, right? Those types of students that I just described. Do you guys think those types of students will have longevity, career-wise,
Wait,
and
sorry, say
life?
it again?
Yeah, can you repeat again?
Yeah. So those students, they're very live in the moment type of students. They're, perhaps they're funny. They goof around in school a lot. Those same types of students also like to fall asleep in class, like to skip class. They don't do many assignments with little to no worry about, not graduating or moving up to the next grade. I don't know. What type of longevity do those... First of all, are they justified in that sort of student lifestyle? Where do you think that lifestyle comes from?
I think you can live in the moment. Just don't be like stupid about it,
Yeah?
I think that's really. I feel like that's a big thing. Just don't be dumb. Don't be like brain dead. You'll be fine.
Don't be brain dead.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think you could totally get far. Like you don't have to be like a. I mean, I don't know. I don't really know, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like everyone brings something to the world,
Sure.
You just
Yeah.
gotta-
I believe
You just
that.
gotta know what your abilities are, and how to use them, and your strengths, weaknesses. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I suppose my next question is, and we're not really there yet, in terms of, oh, we made it type thing. Maybe you have, I have no idea. But what do you think are the biggest predictors for success?
Yes.
Well, how do you define success?
You're right.
I think success,
Maybe I'll also throw out that question for you guys. What are the biggest predictors, do you think? What are the biggest predictors to your idea of success?
I feel like
I feel like.
feel,
Go
I
ahead.
feel like it depends on the person, because some people's success might be their dream career, or some people is a family or whatever, stable job with a house or whatever. So I feel like it really depends on each person. But I just had to throw that out there. I forgot. Wait, what was the question?
What do you think are the biggest predictors of your idea of success?
I think success means you reached your goals and you're happy about it.
Okay.
I don't think it has to be you have a bunch of money
Okay.
or you have a nice house. I mean, it can be, of course. But I think if you reach what you were going for, you worked for it, however, and it makes you happy and you're happy with it, and you're not a bum about it, then I'd say you're successful.
Okay.
That's in a general sense. I'm sure there's some outliers maybe.
So, let's say if you want to achieve what you believe is success in your life, what types of things do you believe you should do in your own life, in your personal life, what you're doing right now? What are stuff that you believe that you're doing that will ensure a successful life? Stuff that you're doing right now.
I feel like one thing is probably
And again, your definition of success, stuff that you're doing that you believe will make you successful. This is totally a personal taste question.
I feel like for me, probably is just knowing where I just knowing where I stand and keeping in line with my morals. I feel like that's something that I always, try to stay on track with and try to keep me in line, or try to follow consistently. But also just, I feel like for me is just like being, to live a successful life is probably just being content with myself and surrounded by the people that, that support me and the people that I love. So I feel like, keeping those relationships with people and not burning bridges and knowing what's best for you and just keeping that like that kind of mindset.
Okay.
I feel like right now probably the most thing that what I'm doing for myself is I guess making sure the people I surround myself with, because I feel like that's also I'm just gonna stop there. Yeah.
Okay. I understand. I guess I'm doing the old teacher thing. Oh, let's go around the class. Say your definition of success. What do you think success is? But, feel free to interject. But I'm curious. I'm glad you have a sense of... I'm glad you can identify those factors that will make you successful. Okay.
Because can I add something?
Of course.
Because I feel like also, if you're building, your own future and path, I feel like it starts. This is kind of cringe, but it's I feel like it starts with yourself first and like your character, and I feel like that's how like you. So I'm not going to explain things, but I feel like knowing your character is like, I feel like that like knowing yourself first is what can lead you to the future that you should. Okay, I'm done.
Self-awareness. I think I know what you're getting at. There's also this, I don't know, just on the topic of self-awareness, there's this thing I learned from a man, his name is Simon Sinek. I've been subscribed to him for years. But he says that other people are better at judging your character than you are at judging your character. Do you think that's true?
But can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah. So he said other people, well, I'm it's not verbatim, but other people, in the general sense, other people are better at judging your character than you yourself are at judging your own. Is that true? Can you identify the same traits that your friends see in you as you see in you? As in, is your perception of yourself equal to your friend's perception of you?
No, I can't. I don't know if I ask my friends how I think they. If I try to figure out how, like, words that people would describe me, I don't think I would be able to know.
Okay.
Because I remember being asked that in like an interview for like a job thing, and then one of the questions was like, how would your friends describe you? And I literally had no idea how my friends would describe me. And I feel like sometimes I don't know how to describe myself either. But that's just me though.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that I think about it, that does sound like a job interview question.
So you're saying like I feel like you're saying like, oh, like if there are some traits of yourself that you don't know and only your friends can,
Sure. Yeah.
other
Yeah.
people or whatever. I feel like I can say, like, I feel like I'm on both sides of where, like, I feel like, you know, there are some things where only you know about yourself, because obviously, like, you know, yourself, and I feel like you know yourself the most. But I feel like there are some things where, like, for example, like, where, like, this person, oh, I don't know if this is mean, but like this person, like, they can't read the room. You know what I mean? I feel like, and only the other people surrounding them can
Oh, okay. Yeah.
get
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's also a characteristic that I feel like is also just based on the other people. But you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. And maybe most of the time it's just when it's something negative, especially, you're like, that's not me. That's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. I guess we're naturally inclined to deny bad characteristics about ourselves. But if it's true, it's true, I guess.
Interesting question.
Yeah, speaking of questions, Sam brought up that idea of job interview questions. So, huh. Let me try and articulate what I'm thinking here, because I don't know if anybody's asked what I'm trying to think about before. Okay. So, you guys have had jobs before, right? Yeah. So, I'm in my first ever job right now. I get paid to do something by a company. Was there a time where what am I trying to articulate here? How often do your expectations of a job position meet the reality of the job?
Can you restate the question?
Yeah. So I'm at an internship over the summer. You know, I reach out every which way, asking so many questions. Hey, especially you, Sam. On the flipping car ride home after one of our friends injured their knee, the car ride home, I had the choice of going to the hospital or staying on campus. I chose to stay on campus. She took me home. And then I was like, oh, I'm freaking out about this job interview. What kind of questions do they ask you? What should I bring to the tour and whatever? You know, I was getting so nervous and whatever. And then the interview happens. I had all these notions you talked about. You know, I'll bring a notepad, take notes, ask questions here and there. So I did all of that, and you know, you also told me that you get certain responses from the interviewer, and then interview / tour comes around. I've come to find none of that happened, and then I still got the position. So I'm wondering, how often do your expectations of a job meet the reality of a job? I do all this work, you know, it's good to prepare. I do all this work, but to find out that, you know, you didn't have to do this after all. And then I also had notions about the job before I started working. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be work every single day. I'm gonna get tasks from my advisors and mentors and whatever. But the first 2 weeks were just, you know, mostly independent and whatever. I'm trying to be careful with my words here. But was there? How often do expectations meet reality? When related to jobs.
I think to your first job, I feel like you're always super excited for it,
Yeah.
and your expectations kind of high because it's like, oh, it's something new. You're getting paid, you're making money, but then once you do it, you're like, bruh, I don't want to do this anymore. You know.
Okay.
I feel like that's kind of how I feel for every job I apply for. So I'd say my expectations for each job isn't super high because I feel like at the end of the day, it's still a job. It's still going to be annoying
Okay.
to have to come to. Um, but yeah. So I don't know how to rate that, but
Okay. So I assume it's part of the experience then to have your expectations high and the job itself. Has there ever been a time where it's the other way around? You had low expectations for a job, but the demand or the position that you're working for is just so much higher than what your expectations were? Has that ever happened?
please say that question one more time. Sorry.
Was there ever a time where your expectations were low, but the job itself was pretty demanding?
Um, Sort of. There's a time where I was applying for this job. Actually, yeah, there was. I'd say there's a time. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't think it would be too bad, but it turned out to be a lot more physically demanding than I initially thought it was going to be, and this became a whole workout that I would do 3 times a week. But obviously, I got used to it, and it's just like, yeah, but yeah. Um, and there's this other one that wasn't necessarily physically demanding, but is a lot of it's demanding by like the bosses and literally, I don't know, literally everyone. So and I knew it was gonna be a stressful job, but I didn't know it was gonna be like gonna make me want to like, I don't know.
I see.
But yeah, I'd say yeah.
Okay. Huh. Okay, interesting. I'm getting all the knowledge I can. It's standard fare. I don't know. I'm weirdly acclimated to the work environment, despite it being my first ever job. But it's a research internship, so I know I got to do something every day, and that's okay. Yeah, that was more of a future plans type of question, which was the next idea Joel wanted to tap into. But now I have a new question.
Oh my gosh, I forgot I was on a podcast, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
That's okay. I have
listening, bro.
Yeah, I have a question for you now, Joel.
All right, what's the question?
You're in a new position where you've graduated high school. If you could it's so cliche, but if this helps someone, it helps someone, You're in a new position now where you can service the newcomer with a piece of advice. So, the generic question is, you know what? Yeah, why not? What would you tell your freshman year self about high school? Looking at where you are now.
So can I mention COVID or no?
You can, whatever you want to your freshman...
Is it just advice, or could I just be like, yo, this happens, bro, watch out, bro?
Yeah, okay, you know what? Let me restructure that, because pre-COVID and post-COVID are totally different mindsets.
Yeah.
What would you tell yourself about your high school career in March of 2020?
So, I'm in quarantine right now.
Just started, yeah.
Just started. I'd say to myself, I feel like I'm gonna say something, and then I'm not. I'm just trying to think how can I make myself convincing to my younger self? I can say oh, don't be lazy, don't procrastinate, but I know my younger self is gonna procrastinate anyways. So, I could say to myself yo, this will happen. could definitely do this. I don't know. Actually, I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, one thing I feel like I should have done is been more involved in school. Like I said earlier, probably like join. Oh my! I just died. It's called probably like more involved, high school, and I mean yeah. I mean I feel like my only regrets in high school was not being involved with like let's say NHS, which is the National Honor Society. I feel like I should have joined that, or like at least like with a couple sports or even clubs. But I don't know. At the same time, like I don't want to blame school because like I obviously could have joined any of those things, but like at the same time I feel like I felt really limited in some ways.
Okay.
I feel like for me I keep on worrying about like the what ifs, which is kind of cliche, but like the song Sam, no more what ifs. Gotta focus on now. No.
Yeah.
So I feel like I would tell myself, yo, Joel, don't focus on the what ifs. Focus on yourself now.
Okay.
What you can do to be better than yesterday.
Sure. Yeah. And you emphasize a lot about involvement. Now I'm going to ask the college students this. How much does involvement in high school predict your success in college and beyond? Does that
I'd also tell myself to try more.
Okay. Try more is definitely getting outside your comfort zone. But how much is that high school involvement predict your success in college and beyond?
I feel like going into colleges, they really search for like well-rounded people, and that's what I've always heard.
Okay.
I feel like if you want to get into like colleges, I feel like it's important to be well-rounded because I feel like I joined a good amount of clubs. Like I joined a lot of clubs in high school, but I feel like one thing that you can't let it distract you from is I remember like my brother telling me this. He's like, oh, like yeah, like if I want to get into like a good school and everything, like yeah, like you can join clubs and to like be well-rounded and stuff, but I feel like you shouldn't shy away from also like focusing on academics too, because I feel like that's what I kind of lean on. Is I was like, oh, like I'm a well-rounded person, I'm like okay with like school, but like I did a bunch of clubs and that's what they're looking for. But I feel like a lot of schools also really look at academics, but you should also not just focus on academics, but try to be as well, be involved.
Okay. Huh. I guess. So that was that your experience? Did they look? I know you've done stuff in high school. Did they make note of that when you applied to university?
I don't know. I don't know one thing. But that's just like what I've heard from
Okay.
like obviously from like college counselors and stuff like that. It's good that I'm participating in these clubs. So I feel like overall it is generally like something that they definitely look at. Because I feel like the clubs that you join and stuff like that, I feel like why they can look at it. One reason is probably because they can see more of your interests and stuff like that. So it's not just like grades and stuff, but kind of shows like who you are more of as a person, I guess.
Okay.
But,
Interesting. Okay. Maybe that is a nice piece of advice to give to recent high school graduates. Alright, let's go. I feel like this is a lot of serious, heavy stuff. Let's go off the rails a little bit. I'm going to start by just the simplest question ever. Now let's go simple. Let's go chill, medial, even, tedious topics and conversations. So let's just start with this. What are you guys doing tomorrow? We don't got to go
Work.
far out into the future. We can start with tomorrow. What are you guys doing tomorrow?
Go to work.
Going to work.
We go home. Play some games.
Yeah. And you do something with boxes, right?
Yeah, I work at Rand Whitney. I basically put cardboard into a hopper, and the hopper puts the cardboard and puts the paint on it, and then goes out the other end, and then somebody packages it up and sends it on the conveyor belt.
And you're the main man? You're at the beginning? You start?
I'm beginning. I just put the big cardboard boxes into the hopper. It really depends. If it's like really big boxes, then it's my job is like super tiring. If it's super like small, it's really easy.
Oh, okay. Your shift is from 5 to 1, right?
Yes.
Have you adjusted to waking up at 4 in the morning yet?
Yeah, I feel like I've adjusted pretty well. I'm not that tired when I wake up, but I remember last night I slept at 1. I did feel it at work, but you know, I always take naps after work anyways, so that kind of makes up for my missing time, I guess. But that it definitely does not work like that. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's my excuse.
You're what the sleep experts call you operate on a biphasic sleep cycle. Do you think it's healthier to sleep twice or once during the day?
I am not sure. It's kind of interesting because I've been kind of on my my healthy grind. If I'm being honest, like it's like I remember I showed you. Was it you? I showed you like my Notion page.
Yeah. And I'm just saying, we
oh.
gotta get these people on the Notion wave. Yeah.
And then, like, I've been looking at videos and stuff, and what was his name? The guy.
I don't know.
The podcast. The video I showed you. Zimmerman? No.
I don't remember.
I gotta. Literally just saw a video on this.
Man, productivity apps are so cool.
Oh, Huberman.
Andrew Huberman?
Andrew Huberman. I've been looking at some of his videos, right? And I also saw this other video where this guy tested his morning routine. And I mean, in the morning routine, it said like, you know, good amount of sleep, 8 hours.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, I'm definitely not doing that. But it also said like, oh, like no phone until like after 11. Or no, sorry. I think it's like fasting until 11 a.m. Doing all this kind of stuff, cold shower, stuff like that. And I've been considering doing it. I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like nowadays, I'm going totally off the rail right now. But like, I feel like nowadays, like, I feel like I've been trying to have a healthy lifestyle. And this comes back to, I remember when I thought I was listening to a podcast, even though I was in it, like this one, about success, right? I've got to kind of pitch in, but I remember my definition of success, right, is like achieve my goals, like what Sam said, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, like achieving my goals and stuff like that. And I think also just being satisfied with who I am as a person. And I feel like, what's it called? I feel like it's one of my goals. And things that I've been doing, you know, making that Notion page, trying to develop these healthy habits, like going to the gym and like doing all this kind of stuff. I feel like I'm at this renaissance stage of my life, I feel like, which I call the popping off era, where I pop off, right? And I feel like I'm at a point where I'm like trying to like organize my life, and so like I can at least like have called a good starting point into my adulthood, I'd say. But I have been kind of lacking. I mean, I haven't gone to the gym in like a week, and also like I feel like I did get into like a really good rhythm once, with like, oh, I would go to school, do homework for like a couple hours, go to the gym, play, fall asleep. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
And I feel that was a pretty good system. But since school ended, I feel like I've been kind of like in a sort of a limbo. And I mean, like, maybe once school starts up again, like maybe I'll get back into that rhythm. But right now, I'm just kind of just working, and been kind of like doing like just random stuff, because I do have like a lot of like goals I want to do, but at the same time, it's like very, what's it called? I don't know what to choose. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know either if I want to pursue this. Like I feel like this may sound kind of cringy, but I'm like at a crossroads right now of my life. Either I go this path, this path, and this path, and that's why this connects back to everything I said about what ifs. I feel like right now I'm really focused on what if. Okay, what if I just do this? Will I become this? Will I become sexual? Blah, blah, blah. But I feel like, I don't know, right now my mind's split. Like, oh, I really want to like prioritize this right now. But I know if I do this, this will happen. Or something else will happen. Which will kind of like set me back. So like, right now, I'm just kind of going with the flow and just working. And just, I guess, trying to get money. And so I can do this kind of stuff.
Money is fuel, yeah.
I have a couple goals actually. I don't really want to share. I'll share it. So okay, ready? Number one. I remember I told this Enrico to you. I was gonna try to stream, be a streamer.
That's ambitious.
At least as a hobby. All right. And then another dream, not dream, goal, I guess, was to make a game on Roblox.
Yep.
Because I am going game development, and that's the kind of career I want to go for. So I want to like at least get experience, so get on my resume, and then at least try it. And then another good thing is like another goal, I think, is like I was trying to get into more of the stock market.
Oh yeah.
I did do like back in junior year, but like nowadays I haven't. But oh my gosh, bro! Like I think I could probably make some good money there, but I know it's a very dangerous road, and it's a lot of commitment. That's the thing. I got commitment issues, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like I don't know what to commit to. Like, oh, do I just do this Roblox thing for like the whole month, or should I try the options, or should I try or like options trading, like it's stock market, or should I do like streaming? You know what I mean? Or like even then, like I've been trying to get into hobbies like photography, video editing, and I feel like I have so many ideas right now, but I don't know like what to focus on, and that's why I'm kind of I'm at a crossroads, you know. So like, yeah, I don't really know. It's like, what's the why am I here? Why do I get this point? Oh yeah. So the future plans, right? This is my vision, all right?
Love to hear it.
All right. So let's say, or like the classic question: what do I see myself in 10 years? Where I see myself, right, is I'm like in a game company, right? Like let's say like Riot. Boom, I'm a Riot dev, and I stream on the side. I also am a good photographer. I'm good at video editing, hopefully, and I'm also also like have a decent amount of money in my portfolio for stock market, stuff like that. I feel like that's a good place for me to be, at least in like 5 or even 10 years. And that's like minus all like the other stuff I want to do. But that's like, I don't know, a lot of things will change. Because I know right now, if you talked to me 2 years ago, like sophomore year, like I would not be thinking about this stuff. I'd be like, yeah, man, I'm probably gonna play some games. I'm gonna like move to like a house with a couple of friends and play video games, something like that. But I feel like right now, I feel like I'm really ambitious, but the only thing that's holding me back is time, money, time.
That's it.
Because time is money.
And the Reaper knows the budget.
Yes.
That's a bar. I Black Thought. Top 5. You know what's the most powerful productivity tool that I've used in the past few months?
What's the good productivity tool?
Calendar. Something as simple as crossing off the days you do something is powerful. So this is... Look at that. This idea... That Atomic Habits video is one of the greatest videos I've ever seen.
I could listen to that.
Yeah, that Atomic Habits video. This idea of not breaking the chain. I was able to survive... what? I went 2 semesters without missing a mandatory assignment because of this. My fall 2022 semester, I did not miss a single assignment this entire semester. In past semesters, I would do that because I wasn't, studious and ambitious and whatever. Then I saw the video and I'm like, you know what? Just an hour a day. Just an hour a day. And I wish there were results that I could show you to see how profound this changed me. But, maybe the first step into realizing your ambition is to get a calendar and mark stuff on it. That's it. That's all you need to do. I printed one out a day or something, and then, yeah, the rest is history. Oh, this thing is gonna be full by the end of the year, man. Maybe we all need accountability partners. How about that? We should all be each other's accountability partner. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. I like that.
I don't know. Sometimes I gotta muster the confidence to basically tell people what to do. I don't like being that guy. Just kind of bossy and whatever. But it's taking accountability type thing. Yeah. Shout out high school, shout out college. Oh yeah, I got a question. Some people like to distill college down to a handshake and a diploma. What are your thoughts about that sort of phraseology? That's not a word, is it? That sort of phrasing. Distilling college. College is just a handshake and a diploma. Or I spent what? So let's say I spent $50,000 to get a handshake and a diploma. Or if you're in high school, I spent 20,000 hours of my life for a handshake and a diploma. What are your thoughts on that sort of phrase? Have you heard that before? Actually, I should ask that first. Have you heard people say that?
Actually, I've actually never heard about that.
Yeah, I know people that say, "Oh, I went through college just to get a handshake and a diploma." Maybe that'll be a new song title: "Handshake and a Diploma." I guess if you've never heard of that before, but what are your thoughts on distilling college into those two experiences?
I feel like it's really like what you make of it. I feel like if you focus on that mindset of only just getting your degree and stuff like that, I feel like that's what can happen, and it's true. Like depends on what you prioritize, and then it looking back, you can only just be getting a handshake and a degree, you said, right?
Yeah, or a diploma. Sorry, a diploma.
But I feel like, if you college, from what I've experienced, is all about putting yourself out there, and you kind of have to put in effort to, if you want to be involved in stuff and get the best experience that you can for the amount that you pay. So I feel like, yeah, people can say, oh, it's just a handshake and a diploma, but I feel like if you put yourself out there and you get yourself involved with what your university or college offers you, then I feel like it can be more than a handshake and a diploma. So
well said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, while you're saying that, whole idea, college is what you make of it, and it's more than that if you put in the effort. Now another question popped up into my head about all those students, who taught you guys to realize your ambition
Wait, can you rephrase that or like explain more?
Yeah, who taught or inspired? Who inspired you to make goals? Who taught you to make goals?
I feel like for me, the people that first come to mind is probably my parents. Just because I feel like it's, you know, especially with Asian parents, they kind of expect a lot. But yeah, I would probably say my parents, and they're always telling me to, ever since high school, is just to always plan ahead and like, make sure you get into like, like you want to make sure you want to not only that you should get into, a pretty good college, but like make sure you have that drive and stuff like that. But I feel like, yeah, probably just my parents.
Okay. So I guess that's default, okay? But yeah, I guess you were born into setting goals for yourself. Okay. Okay. I don't know. I'm in a state of I'm in a state of thinking where I feel like I'm compelled to find solutions right now. Because as in maybe I'm out of touch. I don't know. But now all I'm thinking about is TikTok for some reason. That's the first thing that pops into my head, because I'm on the relatable sector of TikToks. I'll pull up one relatable thing and let me try and find something. I'd be like, something went wrong to nope, not okay. I have a dance and I'm trying to find an example. I'm on the relatable sector. Never mind. I'm not getting the TikToks on my For You page. But I don't, it's not my primary source of media that I consume. But I don't know. People like to open up on that platform. And now and through these conversations I'm thinking, people have, traumatic experiences or whatever, and they like to share on TikTok. People like to share their icks on TikTok pretty often. I had a segment in a previous podcast about icks. I don't know. Now you know what? Why don't we ask that question? Why not? They might get some spicy territory here. What are your guys' icks? Because that's what I'm thinking about. I'm in a state of problem solving. And then through recognizing your icks, I'm like, okay, where did that come from? Then I can find a solution to fix that ick. You know what I'm saying? That's the condition right now. What are your icks?
From my icks?
Yeah. That you're, within reason, or not, that you're willing to share. It could even be irrational. It doesn't even have to be within reason. It could be irrational. Share your irrational icks.
What are your icks, Sam?
What's yours?
Let's have Joel go first.
If this turns into a therapy session, so be it. I'm just curious. That's all.
Before we answer that question, so guys, I just finished my base, and I did this really dramatic eye look. I did a kind of a pinkish shadow with some red. It's very bad on camera, but I kind of did some white sparkles underneath, and then I did I outlined it with purple to make it kind of gradient. Yeah, that's so far the update on the makeup look. Anyways, back to Joel.
Joe, what are your icks?
Sorry, what?
What are your icks?
My icks?
Yeah.
Wait, how do we get to this point?
You know, asking, you know, that whole idea of some people not recognizing their ambition, and then it brought me to the relatable sector of TikToks, and then people on TikToks like to what's this word? Like to project their, you know, relatable icks and whatever to the world, to the internet, and get hundreds of thousands of likes. And now I'm curious, what are your icks?
My icks.
Or what annoys you or what bothers you? That's what it is,
Bothers
right?
me?
An ick is something that bothers you or whatever. Yeah.
But honestly, I feel like an ick, like, I mean, you know, it's obviously like a not serious word, and there's really like no rules for it. But like an ick should like be something where like an ick isn't like, oh, when someone like when someone so like when someone has a bad smile, like that's not like an ick is supposed to be something where like it's like a niche kind of, you know. I'm not
Okay.
saying-
Okay.
Yeah.
My ick.
Yeah, Sam.
I think ick is like a social turnoff. That's how I like to see it.
Oh, okay. It's an interesting
And
way
I,
to say
like
it.
it can be like with anything, like friends, etc.
It's actually a pretty good way to say it.
Like
When they keep talking to you, but like I obviously like I just don't feel like talking to you, but they keep trying to talk to you.
Okay. Yeah. The small talk thing, I guess.
The whole small talk thing, and that's just like with like sometimes like strangers in the elevator, or like customers at work. And it's like, okay, you can leave, bro. I don't say that.
one time, me and my friends were talking about guys icks, like what we have, like icks that we see in guys, and my friend said is when an example my friend said is when guys wear sandals or flip flops.
All sandals?
When I think it's no, when the guys wear flip flops.
Oh, flip flops. Yeah, that's a hot take.
Oh, no, I see that.
I wear slides. Do those count? Flip flops are the ones that with the Y strap thing, right?
I feel like flip flops are like so like millennial. I don't know. I totally see
I
that.
don't know. I am so out of touch with modern fashion, honestly. You're talking to a guy that wears the same color palette for years at a time.
Not true. Sometimes on Sunday I see you wear something else.
Yeah, but that's out of, you know, parental compulsion. As in, you know, they get mad type of thing, but whatever. But even the stuff I wear is basic and, you know, I wish they were red, actually. I wish those shirts were red. But, yeah, whatever. What can you do? Yeah, fashion sense, bad. Or at least out of touch, rather.
I think you have a great sense of fashion.
Thank you.
For me, at least.
I'm in the Steve Jobs school of thought. I don't think he's ever addressed it directly. He wears, you know how he wears the iconic black turtleneck and jeans every day? So, sources say, but not him, I don't think, it's just to reduce decision fatigue. Yeah, I feel it. Takes me about a second to figure out what I want to wear for the day. I'm like, yeah, whatever's next in the drawer, you know what I mean? So that part is straightforward. But yeah, icks of guys wearing flip-flops. Okay. What about that makes you uncomfortable?
Well, I wasn't the one who said this, but it was my friend. But
Yeah.
maybe she just doesn't like. I don't know actually. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe she just doesn't like feet. Because I feel like icks can just kind of be like a personal thing.
Yeah?
Just like or maybe when someone tries to pick something up from the floor but they can't like get it, or like they try to like chase something.
Do you have a list? Some people have
No.
lists.
Wait, what?
Some
Do
people
I?
like
No.
make lists. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. Everybody has a list for something. I don't know.
But yeah, I remember that one. Somebody tries to pick something up, but they can't pick it up.
Oh, okay. It's an interesting ick. It's also been described that some icks may be irrational too, as in irrationally annoying and whatever. Like I discussed in a previous podcast episode. Any other icks you would like to discuss? I'm trying to enlighten myself on what the average Gen Zer does.
Those are the ones that come to mind.
Any y'all icky? Anybody else icky?
What are your icks, Nico?
My icks? I have a few. There's one big one that comes to mind. When someone answers their own question first.
I do that all the time.
Yeah. Because the idea it's okay. It's like and I also saw this in a Simon Sinek video. It's just that I feel like life is better if you show up with a giving mindset rather than a receiving mindset. So, if you answer your own question first, you just bias the room. The people you're talking to will give a response similar, unless they're different. But most likely, I feel like the people you talk to, the people you ask that question to, they're going to form their responses based on what you said first. And that's the sort of receiving mindset that, people who do that do. You know what I mean?
I'd say my ick I can think of right now is when people try to speak, but they're like, and then they're like, and then they actually say what they're saying.
I do that all the time.
You don't do that. No, you don't do that.
Wait, so speaking gibberish?
So like they stutter, but then they're like, I mean, and then they say it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Like that, bro.
Dude, understandable.
Yeah.
Because it's
Well,
not
actually-
English. So,
Yeah. It bothers me, but it's whatever.
wow.
Like, you're so cool. I know Joel does it, but it's all good, bro.
Yeah. In those
Honestly.
instances, I'm like, excuse me. And then I go on to what I say. Yeah. Yeah, I try to speak English.
It's like, like that. It's just like, I don't know, bro.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Any more?
It took me a while to think of one.
Maybe when someone self-invites.
Self-invites?
Big one, yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out what that looks like. What's an example? Or maybe I'm just oblivious to social gatherings. Oh yeah, no, actually. So y'all had that little church event on Saturday. Were there people that showed up that weren't registered?
I mean, yeah, but they asked before. They asked the previous day if they could come, and then I had to answer like, well, you can come technically, but you can't really play because the teams are finalized. But they ended up playing because people didn't show up. I mean,
Okay.
and we need for it. So
Nobody came without telling somebody.
Okay.
So like everybody that came, like at least told someone. But
All right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
but maybe like an example would be like, uh, you're going to like maybe like Boston with like some of your friends, right?
Yeah.
And then like you're telling, oh, and they're like, so like maybe like you have this other, you're with your friend right now, like completely different friend, and they're asking you what you're doing later, and then you respond, oh yeah, I'm going to Boston with some of my other friends later, and then the guy says,
Can I come?
oh well, I don't know if I can make it, like that. That's like,
Oh,
that's
as
like
in assuming he just.
yeah,
Automatic invite.
yeah, and then you're like, oh, that's cool. But in your head you're like, what? You know what I mean?
I think so.
Like that.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
And then
Interesting.
and then like actually showing up like that, like bro.
That is a bro moment. Indeed, a bro moment. Interesting. Huh. Well, Joel, do you ick?
Ick.
Do you have icks?
I mean, like, I honestly don't really focus on icks. I like to focus on the positives of people.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. Icks. One thing I really get annoyed about is, I don't know how to explain it. I'd say, what is it called? When like, narcissism?
no, narcissism.
Yes?
Give us a scenario or an example that.
Yeah, I gotta look
compels
at
you.
the
Yeah. Or give us the situation that spawned this ick. Because maybe there's an experience you've had that.
It's like when somebody has a really high ego, but in like a bad way. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I don't know. It's just an ick to me, but like I don't know if it's just like a me problem, or maybe I'm just gaslighting myself. But like it's like, oh, you're not that guy, type of. You know what I mean? Like you see a guy, really high ego.
Like, I'm
And
him!
you're like, bro, you're not that guy, bro.
I'm him!
Like that kind of stuff. But at the same time, it's like you can't mix. You can't like. There's a difference between like confidence and ego. You know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
So like you can tell like someone has a lot of confidence, but also humble, but also like high ego, high confidence. You know what I mean? Like you can really
Yeah.
easily mix that up. I feel like someone who is narcissistic, which is I guess it says a mental health condition. I guess it is, but in which people have an unreasonably high sense of their own importance. They need and seek too much attention and want people to admire them. Which like, oh, and then it also says people with this disorder may lack the ability to understand or care about the feelings of others. That's also a really important part. It's like they're having an ego, but they just don't care about other people at the same time. And the kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. Like that kind of stuff. Like, yo, you're not that guy, bro. It's like humble yourself, man. That's my ick.
Okay. Fair enough.
Social ick.
A social turnoff. Yeah, social turnoff. I like that. Huh. Now I'm going every which way right now. This is a question mostly for you, Hannah. But doing makeup, right? Just out of nowhere, that's therapeutic for you, I assume?
Yeah, I've because some people, ask, because spend money on it, and like when I do my makeup this late, obviously I'm not, like especially on a Wednesday night. I'm not going anywhere, so I like, and like once I'm done with it, I just like take it off. But I do it because yeah, call it makeup therapy, just because like because it's it's physically doing something. And it's kind of like not to be like cringe or, but it's like it's technically like art. It's like
I was about to say, yeah.
certain things go in certain places, and like there's a lot of like similarities to it, and I feel like it's also good because I feel like I do this a lot where like I just spend a night in where like it's like calming, or just like either watch something while I do my makeup, or like do whatever. But it's like also practice too, so I feel like I've gained I don't know the word, but I feel like
Experience.
experience. Thank you. But I feel like I've gained because I do it a lot. I feel like I take the time to kind of like know my face and just be creative with it, like today. So.
Interesting. Yeah, that was a perfect segue to my next question. And I wanted to ask this to a wider audience. What kind of art do you guys make? I feel like everybody has what's it? An unconscious desire to make art. You do makeup. What do the other two do? I feel like something personalized. You guys do something personalized and expressive, I'm sure, right?
Yeah.
Wait, sorry. So what's the answer again? Or question?
What type of art do you make?
Ah. Let me rephrase that question for you.
Okay.
How do I express myself?
Sure. Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
I
Sure.
express myself through my character, through my actions.
Okay.
Through, I'd say photography sometimes.
Sure. Yeah.
I express myself through, I guess, just gaming in general. My interest in gaming, and usually sometimes I express myself through video.
Okay. You know what? Solid rephrasing. Yeah. I saw a quote somewhere. Every choice you make is a form of self-expression. Yeah. Yeah. And then Batman in the in multiverses. Oh shoot, I'm forgetting the quote. It's oh shoot, I forgot. It's something along the lines of it's not who you are. It's what you do that matters, type thing. Yeah, something like that. I don't know. But photography, I got photography from that. That's your type of art. Do you make art, Sam?
I feel like I don't really.
You express yourself through piano, right?
No, not really.
No.
To be honest,
Never mind.
it's just like I don't explain it because I wouldn't really consider it as like as a way to express myself. Just kind of something I just do that I'm supposed to do.
Uh-huh.
Mainly in the context of like church and stuff, and it's not really for me to express myself. It's more of like it's not for me.
Okay.
Because usually when I play piano, I play it like because I play for church. I don't play for me. Like I don't do it to like express like myself. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Like there's things I enjoy in like that musical aspect, for sure. And there are things that I guess I'm like I have a certain style with it that some people don't have, and I guess in a way that is kind of expressing myself. But I don't know if I consider it as a way to I don't know. I feel like to express character like that is how you mean. Because if you mean like that, I don't think music is my way of expressing myself. if anything, I feel like I don't really express myself often it to the general people.
Okay. So yeah. So now that you say general yeah, people, public, whatever. Now I'm thinking, does this feels like some art seminar, because what I'm about to ask could be brought up in some art seminar discussion class. Does posting to Instagram count as art and creative expression?
Yeah. Okay.
I'd say so. Yeah.
So yeah, so you do that. I suppose that would be your form of art, I guess.
In a way.
Yeah, I feel like everybody needs to do that though. I don't know. Everybody wants to express themselves, and you know, I do it through. Oh yeah, my art is video game. No, I make music. I'm not gonna. It's common knowledge now. Well, not really. No, I'm not gonna say that. It's a defining characteristic. That I would say. Well, yeah, everybody should make art. Yeah, everybody should make art. Or at least everybody should recognize that they make art. I don't know. I feel like some conditions would be better if everybody just saw that everybody's an artist or something. I'm trying to get at something, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, art. Everybody makes art. Yeah, everybody makes art, and maybe most of them just don't know it. Huh. Interesting. So, are you done with your makeup? Is that the final product?
No.
How
I
much
have a,
more do you have?
Takes so long.
because I'm taking my time, and plus I feel like obviously on a day-to-day basis I don't do this much and stuff. But I feel like that's another thing why I like doing it at night, is because I don't have any time constraint, or there's no time limit. When I just like to experiment. But all I have to makeup update. All I have to do is just oh, I got this new lip gloss. For maybe somebody out there watching, target audience. I got this new Maybelline lip gloss.
Maybelline. I know what
Called Peach Ring, and I got the Tarte Maracuja lip plumping thing in Honeysuckle, but it's not really doing justice to me right now, because maybe it's just the color of my lips, but it's a little bit too pigmented, and
Pigment. I also know
but
that word.
that's Hmm?
No, I know what pigment is.
but this is flip combo, and all I have to do, well, I kind of have to usually I have to set my face with powder, with this loose powder that I have, but because I'm gonna take it off, I usually don't use powder when I'm doing my makeup at night, just because right. But all I have to do is just put on my lashes, which is the most important part, because I feel like that really just oops, the makeup look, and it's a little bit dramatic today, but it's okay. I feel like it looks better. Oh, I just got a glimpse of what I look like in the mirror, and it does not look good. I was
Uh-oh.
gonna say it looks better in person, but yeah. All I have to really do is just put on my lashes, and yeah, I feel like it's also kind of just an interesting thing to bring up, but I think it's just kind of interesting on, talking about, not to be like yeah, I don't know what the word is, but I was door dashing. I was accompanying Sam when he was door dashing.
Thanks for
But
taking my
we
place.
we were going to Walgreens, and he needed to buy like a bunch of like, you know, girl, kind of things. Some of them were girl makeup products, and it was just funny how like, oh, like we like seeing him like, oh, like we need to get this, and I was like, and he was like literally looking at the opposite section of like the store,
Not
and
true.
it is true. But it's just like, because I was like, oh wait, no, this is like, it was like Wet and Wild, and that was like the brand. But he was looking at like CoverGirl, and I was like, this is CoverGirl. This is not Wet and Wild. We need to find the Wet and Wild section.
Not true. I ain't lying. It's not happening.
But no, but it's just like interesting because like obviously like I feel like I'm pretty knowledgeable on like makeup and like brands and stuff like that, and like in trend things and stuff. So it's just like when he like looked at the wrong section, I was like, no, it's over here. But and I feel like it's the same with like his interests and stuff. Probably was like like when he talks about his games and like he says something, I'm like, I don't know what that means. So I just think that was kind
I
of
ain't
interesting.
talking about games. Not even sure. I barely play my games, if anything.
Yo,
He says that he doesn't play his games.
I
feel
don't. I really don't.
like
Enrico, tell me. Enrico, tell me. Would you say? Enrico, tell me. Would you say I'm active like I used to be?
personally, no.
Yeah. Would you say I'm like even a regular at this point?
You're a regular 2K player these days.
No, I mean like regular Discord gamer.
No, not really. I wouldn't say
see?
so.
I told you, I'm not. She says I am. Like I'm not, bro.
Why not? No, I don't.
She do. You tell me I played too many games. I'm like, bro, I barely play anything. Not true.
No, Sam is just dissing me, guys. And he tells me that, I am the reason that he doesn't play his games. Guys, sometimes he just wants to ditch playing games and wants to talk to me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
He's lying. He's literally lying.
This conversation, I've thought about this in the past. Kind of a little, a couple series of podcasting where I would just bring, bring couples onto the podcast and we talk about the nitty gritty of a relationship and whatever. Yeah, cause maybe people need relationship advice. I don't know what relationship advice can you give. But yeah, I've thought about that. We got. I know couples. You know what I'm saying? I know couples. I put in my notes here. Joel had an idea to do an IRL podcast. Where would we do an IRL podcast?
You already did one with the Coletta Lucy, right?
Yeah, that one was kind of bad because literally all it was, the audio quality was poor. It was this, a flippin' adapter, and this microphone. And I think I listened to a little bit of that episode. You could barely hear anyone. I gotta think twice about doing a setup like that ever again. Maybe should have been around the table. Now I think about it. Yeah, that was an experience. First time for everything, But yeah, where would I guess an official setup be? Where would we put the official setup? Because I recorded that podcast, by the way. That podcast was, just under 3 hours long? And it was on my iPad. I had to record that thing. It was, so many gigabytes or something. It was crazy. Gigabytes, megabytes, whatever you want to use. But where would we host a real-life podcast?
Your house.
My home?
Yeah.
Dude? Maybe.
Hana's room.
I'd say Enrico's house.
Yeah.
My home.
On the street.
I've been thinking
we could
about
do
that with Kyle. Kyle wanted the idea of putting a table putting a table on the street and we just sit down and have a conversation. That was his idea. Just put some table in some sidewalk or whatever.
It's like a TikToker, right? Is that?
It just reminds me of a Steven Crowder, the Change My Mind guy.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah. That sort of thing. But we do have 2 microphones. Whether I'm allowed to move his microphone is beyond me. But it's a lot of work to... I mean, unless you guys want to talk in this room.
I have a mic myself, so
Okay, yeah, you can bring your mic. I could...
bring
Apple.
BYOM, bring your own mic.
And boom arm. Bring your own boom arm, too. Maybe I... Not again. Flipping microphone. So I would be here. Some people would be... It's like Fresh and Fit. Do you guys know who Fresh and Fit are? Oh. It's, Yeah, see, I tapped into the Red Pill community a little bit. So Fresh and Fit, they got a bunch of Instagram models or influencers or pretty ladies and whatever around a table. Have you seen clips of that?
I think so.
Or am I just a demon?
I think I have.
Okay.
I haven't.
Fresh and Fit. Fresh... I don't even know if they're called Fresh and Fit.
Wait, is that the one that Ben Shapiro went on?
Where there were women to his left and right?
And like he said
one
something.
Sneeko was
He
on,
said,
right?
he said something wild, right?
I don't remember, dude.
I don't remember. Maybe not then.
But there are microphones. If I want to do this downstairs, I either need a powerful enough laptop, or I need to figure out how to move this PC tower downstairs. Oh, that's a lot, man. That's a lot. I've thought about using the Harvest, the little multimedia stuff at the back.
It's actually crazy.
Yeah, that would be interesting. But if you were to do it in my home, undoubtedly the living room is the best place to do the conversation. It's just it takes so much to bring the stuff over there. And I don't know. I don't know if I'd host IRL podcasts all the time. Maybe once a month. Not even once a semester. I don't know. It's weird kind of measuring years and semesters. It's technically trimesters because they count the summer semester as a semester. So it's a trimester in it. I don't know. I'm just saying things. It's currently 10:17 and my phone is at 12. Well, this phone doesn't matter. Man. I don't want to say... I don't know. I don't know if my podcasting ability... Okay, here's that idea of what your friends think of you versus what you think of you. I don't know if my podcasting ability has gotten better over time since I really went into it in 2021. What makes a good podcaster? You think about that amongst yourselves. I gotta pee. Hold on.
What makes a good podcaster?
Can I see?
I feel like
No.
a really good podcast is probably engaging an engaging conversation where no one is left.
I agree.
I
Engaging
concur.
conversation where no one is distracted and doing something else.
I'm definitely doing something else and distracted right now.
I meant left out.
Yeah. He's my final answer. Someone's still watching. Oh, one's watching.
Where we take viewers' questions and answer them.
Don't viewers question, bro. I don't think we got any viewers, not gonna lie. Joel, don't you got work out like 6 hours?
Yeah, that's fine.
Damn, bro.
Wash my hands and
Yeah,
everything. So did we come into a consensus?
We said. we said. When it's an engaging conversation where no one feels left out. So that's what I said.
Okay. Noted. Huh. Maybe. Do you guys like being given a platform to discuss, or has it been standard fare for you already? I'm like, oh yeah, another one of Enrico's podcasts. Talk about stuff.
I enjoy being on the podcast. Always.
Okay.
I just like chilling.
That's, you know what, I do too, and I feel like I want to do that more often with this thing. I gotta be more chill. I do a lot of serious question asking on these joints. Maybe I gotta keep it light for the next podcast. But yeah.
I have to put this lash on and then I'm done.
Okay, you know what? We'll continue the conversation until you put that lash on, and then you can show the world your art. A-R-T, art. Yeah. Fake lashes. I don't like I feel like calling them fake is intense. Is artificial any worse? Fake lashes? Lash extensions? Is that okay? Lash extensions? Is that fair?
That made me.
Chuckle?
I don't think.
I don't know makeup, man.
I don't think they would be offended if you called them fake. So I feel like we're chilling.
What's that? Is that you did? That's winged eyeliner, right? I'm out of touch, man. I don't know. Yeah,
Have you ever watched a makeup tutorial?
Yeah.
Have you actually?
Yeah, I've seen a few in my day.
Interesting.
I have. Only the one that you showed me one time. You gave me a live demo. I remember base,
Good.
primer. Some people don't use primer. And then there's Ito, then
Foundation. Foundation.
Or mascara. All the lot. Everything else.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't wear makeup. Well, all due respect, I don't wear makeup, man. I
might try it.
So this is tonight's look.
So everyone, hi everyone, we're finally done. But yeah, kind of. I just tend to do this every now and then at night if I'm not too lazy, just because so I can get some practice in, and experiment with the fun colors. As you can see, I went towards like the pink.
This is the summer look. This is the summer rotation.
Is this what you wore for Taylor Swift?
No.
Now I gotta ask you, who are you wearing today? Who are you wearing? It's like the Met.
What?
The Met. You know how the flippin' fashion shows, they ask you who you're wearing, and people are like, oh yeah,
OOTD.
Kate Spade, This is Yves Saint Laurent or something. Today I'm wearing Lacoste. I'm wearing Lacoste, Ray-Ban, and one. That's me at the Met. Hey guys, I'm wearing Walmart brand basketball shorts.
Pretty much it.
So that's the look. Yeah. I got one final question before we conclude. Is Hoko trash?
Eventually, once
do you
you've had
mean?
enough of it.
Really?
Wait, what was the question?
Is Hoko trash?
Hoko? Oh,
If you know, you know type of question. Yeah.
Oko.
Not Homecoming, Joel.
Yeah, I know. I'm just thinking. Oko trash. Like a random question.
It
feel
is
like
a
I
random
enjoyed it.
question.
I enjoy it a lot more, like in the beginning, but once you get like, and then again, I don't have it super often though because I don't have a thing, and I would just borrow people's ID, but now they just finger scan. No, so I
Finger
can't do that now.
scan?
Yeah, they finger scan you now. You can't borrow someone else's ID. They used to do that.
What?
There was a time I would just like walk in when they weren't looking. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Don't.
I figured it's just people governing the counter. And I'm like, yeah, I can walk past that. No problem.
They pay attention though. They actually have eyes where sometimes they actually like look.
I'm
Be
sure.
careful.
Yeah.
You have to be careful sometimes.
During my freshman year when I had a I don't know what it's called, a plan. I don't know. I feel like a meal plan, yeah. I feel like I would go to Philly more because the ambiance is more better. But I feel like the food is depends.
Okay.
But I feel like Hoko sometimes is more better, I think,
More better. Okay.
personally.
I got you. And second last minute question. Have you guys taken more? Have you ever taken more than 4 classes a semester?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks.
You've taken 5?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've taken
Have
6
ya?
classes in the semester. Well, one of them was kind of half. It was like 2 credits instead of 4. Wait, no. I think it was 1. But still. Like, there's still some work.
Okay.
This freshman year.
I got
It's rough.
a third. Excuse me. I got a third last minute question. I am taking 3 classes, 3 specialized classes for my major, and I want to take 3 discovery electives. Is that a good idea?
I
Hell
think
no.
it depends on the classes.
Okay.
No. Not a good
In
idea.
any circumstance, I'm
think
setting
it's a
myself
bad
up for.
idea. Yeah, I think you're just throwing right now, not gonna lie. I don't know what you're thinking. 6 classes, bro? Like, what discovery courses? I feel like 3 major classes already, like, a lot.
Well, let's
No.
see. I got.
What discovery course? Like, germs? Like, doesn't even count.
No, that's not. Well, actually, that's not one of the options. Well, is it? Hold on. Well, if it is one of the options, I already fulfilled that. Yeah, I already fulfilled that. But, you know, historical perspectives, humanities. Wait, I already did humanities. Never mind. Historical perspectives, social science, world cultures, sort of thing. Maybe I can knock those 3 out in 1 semester.
For sure.
Or yeah, humanities, historical perspectives, world cultures.
I already took all of my discovery courses. So,
You lucky
but-
duckling.
no, I hate discovery courses, though. It's a love-hate. Like, I feel like they're so relevant, but sometimes they're not as they're not as hard as like maybe some other major classes. This is one class I took. It felt like a major class, even though it wasn't even that major, and I made me regret my entire college career. I still passed it though. Somehow.
Okay. Okay, that's a
Yeah.
dub. That's a dub. Well,
Yeah, call it. Yeah.
only time will tell. We just did 2.5 hours. So,
Pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Life is good. Almost done. Yeah. We just did 2.5 hours. Any last minute remarks, questions, food for thought, even?
Food for thought.
Yeah. Just a last remark.
Food for thoughts.
Food for thought.
Yeah, it could be anything. I don't know. I just put that. Huh?
I had pizza
Oh,
today.
sure, mate.
You had pizza today.
No more what ifs, guys.
It's literally food for thought.
Well, today. You should listen to the songs by Persona 5 OST.
True.
Pretty good.
Any last minute remarks? Promotion even? This joint is public.
Shout out to Dr. Tulung. Find him on SoundCloud.
Oh no,
Find him on
you don't gotta
YouTube.
promote me, man. I'm already out here. You know.
Subscribe to Kirictico. I post yearly. Yeah.
Any more promotion that you want to put out there?
Live, laugh, love, everybody.
Okay. All right. That's the end. Fall 2023 master plan. Yeah.
I still have not known the master plan yet.
That's up to interpretation. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the conclusion of episode number 44. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.